Today's Sunny 95. Sunny 95.
Welcome to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the show that brings you man-on-the-street interviews, celebrity guests, groundbreaking research, and heartwarming stories about the reasons we smile. Our show is also known as everything you've always wanted to know about dentistry, but we're too numb to ask. Hello, I'm General Dentist Dr. Kvitko, and thank you for joining me today.
The following views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of this station, its staff, management, or parent company. To hear a replay of this show or one of the great shows that previously aired, log on to thereasonswesmile.com or iTunes, keyword Dr. Kvitko or The Reasons We Smile. Listeners should not use Dr. Kvitko's comments and advice in place of an actual dental exam.
Brighten your life with a smile that shows the professional touch of Dr. Kvitko.
Time now for The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Call 459-9769 to discuss your dental issues. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kvitko.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Reasons We Smile. I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode number 536. I really appreciate you joining me. Today's show is going to be about the latest technology innovations and what they mean for dentistry not only today, but in the future. Before we get started, let me remind you, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr. Kvitko. And if you would please go to my office Facebook page and like us, that would be awesome. It's also, all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. And we are streaming live on Facebook. So if you prefer to watch the show, you can do so by going to Facebook and typing in Dr. Kvitko and Associates. You can also watch on ustreamtv.com. Okay? So one more thing. I'd like to remind folks that in about 10 minutes, we're going to be giving away free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They're going to be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. And I'll just give you that phone number now so you can be prepared when I do start the contest. It's 614-459-9769, 614-459-9769. Don't call yet, but just remember that in about 10 minutes, you're going to have a chance to win those flowers from DeSantis. All you have to do is pay a little bit of attention, try to make the questions easy. It is early in the morning after all. One more thing, if you are a dentist with at least 3 years of experience, I'm looking for an associate. So if you would please call me or send me an email. The number to call is 614-262-9588, and the email is bkvitko@aol.com. All right, that's if you have at least 3 years of experience and you're a dentist. I'm also looking for an EFTA. If you're an EFTA looking to change jobs or looking for a job in the first place, also call 614-262-9588. And okay, so now let's get on with today's topic, which again is what the latest technology innovations mean for dentistry today and in the future. So every year, there are a couple big meetings. One is the Chicago Dental Society Midwinter Meeting, and another is the International Dental Show, which meets in Cologne, Germany. And so each year we learn about the new innovations and how they're going to affect us. And one of the neat things is digital impressions. And the topic here, by the way, this article was written by Dr. Jeff Rohde, DDS, and it appeared, I don't know where it appeared, but anyway, we'll give him credit for that. And so digital impressions. How many of you have had an impression for either braces or a bruxism appliance or a crown or something? And it makes you feel gaggy, you get the stuff all over your face. People tend not to like impressions for some reason. Sometimes they can hurt, the tray rubs or whatever. Well, one of the latest and greatest things is digital impressions. Now, I do that when I'm using my CAD/CAM machine, the machine that allows me to do crowns and bridges and implant-supported abutments and crowns right there in the office. But I don't use digital imaging or digital impressions for other purposes, and I could, now that I look at this, now that I think about it. And I may want to get one of these standalone impression, and you know, what I could do is I could scan for crowns, ridges for dentures, night guards, surgical guides, for orthodontic retainers rather than taking an impression, for orthodontic bracket carriers. So for instance, if I'm about to start an orthodontic case, rather than doing impressions, I could scan the mouth, and then a lab can make me what are called bracket carriers, where they set the brackets on the model of that's been created the way they're supposed to go, and then they will make a vacuum form thing that is kind of a soft rubber and then a hard plastic, and all I have to do is put it on the teeth and put the composite resin, the cement basically, and all of the brackets, and then I just shine the light right through this clear thing, and all the brackets are in place. And you never had to have an impression, so that's pretty cool. We can also use these digital impressions to create custom impression trays for dentures. So if we do want to do an actual impression in the mouth, we can, or we can just use the digital model and have the dentures made from that. So it's getting pretty neat. I like to say that most of what I do in the dental office today, I did not learn in dental school. It's actually, if you think about it, very little of what I learned in dental school are things that I do today, although they certainly set the foundation, the groundwork, and it allows me to adapt these new technologies very easily because of the baseline knowledge that I was given. And of course we gradually ease into these things because there are primitive versions of some of this stuff that come along over time. And so wouldn't it be cool? I mean, already now, okay, so if I'm going to do an implant-supported, it's called All-on-4 device prosthesis. So somebody has no teeth or they have teeth, I'm going to take them out. I can put 4 implants on the top arch, 4 implants on the lower arch, strategically placed. And then my lab, I can either scan it or I can send a model to my lab and they will scan this. And actually, they can even create a scan and what's called a surgical guide that would allow me to place those implants in the proper position and make the implant visit go really, really quickly. And so then when it's time to make the prosthesis, they can take a titanium bar, bar of titanium, and their machine will, using the scan, will mill this titanium to the exact shape that we need. It's pretty neat. And it's very precise. And then also, when it's time to put the porcelain on, this bar, they have a machine that will mill that too. Excuse me. So anyway, all right, so digital scanning is no longer a fad, digital impressions, and there are all kinds of devices that will do it. And if your dentist doesn't have it, you might want to ask them about it, because especially if you're one of the people that gag, they might prefer it over having impression material in your mouth. Now, one of the reasons these systems are growing is because they simplify the impression process, they increase accuracy, decrease procedure time, and they enable digital integration with the dental laboratories. Digital impressions eliminate technique sensitivity and patient discomfort of using impression material, and the 3D digital models they create are highly accurate and detailed. Captured using safe, non-invasive imaging technologies, digital impressions are available for a range of restorative and orthodontic indications. The scans are ready almost instantly and can be directed to a dental lab or to a chairside CAD/CAM system, like what I use, without the need to pour a model or pay for shipping. So if a dentist is already using a digital impression system now, it's a great time to find out that, the ones that fit their dental practice so they can increase patient comfort even more. And it also, decreases clinical errors and reduces the time it takes to complete a case. Those are all cool things, something that we would all hope to have. So a couple other things that we're going to talk about today as far as these new innovations are going to be going to be 3D printing. Now 3D printing, a lot of people are interested in 3D printing, and that's because we love watching something be created as we sit there. Now, the crowns that I make that are CAD/CAM, that are made while people wait, everybody asks me if that's 3D printing. And my answer is no, it's not 3D printing, it's more like 3D carving. 3D printing, if you look really close, the little styluses that are working, they have like a little hollow tube, and out of that tube comes either a little bit of wax, a little dot of wax, or some kind of other material. And when it's done, in the case of something that I might be making, I would then have to cast it into metal. Okay, so, but, 3D printing does have its purpose in the dental office, and one is it can print a variety of colors in multiple materials that allows for efficient creation of lifelike models. So this has the potential to change not only the workflow for the lab, but even case presentations for a patient. better than any digital Photoshop-like simulation, is allowing a patient to hold a full-color replica of their teeth with a 3D printed version of their veneers. Now, what I've been doing for that, and I have to do one later today, is I do take a model, and I take wax, and I add the wax to the teeth until I have a shape that I like, until I have a smile that I like, and from that I have to make a model of that, an impression of that, make a model. From the model I have to do a vacuum form. From that, then I have to make the acrylic version that I will eventually set on the person's teeth, take their photograph and say, hey, what do you think? Would you like that if we could do that for you? Well, what this does is this allows to actually, it 3D prints the model, and it does it in color, so that would eliminate all of those steps that I would have to do, and it would allow me to show you a model that is going to be what you would look like after we're finished, if you're interested. So that's where 3D printing comes into the dental office. But I would imagine it's going to improve over time. It's going to become more and more robust. And in fact, we may very likely be able to 3D print crowns at some point down the road. Maybe in a porcelain that is more of like a powdery or maybe like a glycerin and powder mixture that could be placed there, and then that could be baked potentially. I could see that happening. Yeah, it's I'm telling you what, this is really, really cool stuff. It's getting cooler by the day almost. I can't imagine, I mean, looking back, it must have been really boring to be a dentist when I first got out of dental school, because we didn't have half of this stuff. We really didn't. And I enjoy every day I go to work. Now, we're also going to cover, we're not going to have time quite yet, but we're going to cover lasers. And so remember that some of the latest technology innovations in dentistry happen to be in digital impressions, 3D printing, and lasers. And that's going to be important when we do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day, which I think we'll go ahead and we'll do that now. Before we do, okay, I'm going to remind you of the phone number. Don't call quite yet, because I haven't given you the question, but the phone number is 614-459-9769, 614-459-9769. You'll have a chance to win free flowers from DeSantis. But before we do the contest, we'd like you to listen to this.
This station will not be held liable for any contesting during The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Participation in the contest allows Dr. Kvitko to record and broadcast your name and call. One winner per household. Prizes are non-transferable, cannot be substituted, and are subject to taxes and fees. This station cannot be responsible for the inability to enter the contest, whether due to equipment malfunction or telephone difficulties. All decisions of Dr. Kvitko concerning this contest or eligibility are final.
And now it's time for Dr. Kvitko's question of the day.
All right, and today's question is, what are some of the latest technology innovations in dentistry? Is it A, digital impressions, B, 3D printing, C, lasers, or D, all of the above? All right, the winner's going to receive free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They'll be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. The number to call, 614-459-9769. 614-459-9769. So go ahead and call now.
You won't believe it though. I want to hear your mind. And there's nothing else in the world tonight. She said, people don't take the time. Hey, people don't take the time.
Hi, I'm Keith Carlos, winner of America's Next Top Model and star of Chocolate City 2. Look for my smile on the big screen this summer, courtesy of Dr. Kvitko. Stay tuned to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. Did you know that you no longer need to visit several different dental professionals to get more complete dental care? We handle everything from cleanings and orthodontics to restoration, implants, and smile makeovers, all in my office. And now we have 2 locations. Get the most advanced technology and procedures available today. It's more complete dentistry.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
Dr. Kvitko, let's go!
Hi, this is Richard Simmons. Dr. Kvitko's here, and he's going to help you with all of your problems. Are your teeth yellow? He can fix that. Are you missing a tooth? He can put a new one in. How is that?
That's very good. Thank you, Richard.
All right, we're back. We're doing Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. The question was, what are some of the latest technology innovations in dentistry? We have Erica on the phone with us. Good morning, Erica.
Yes.
How are you?
Awesome.
Good,
Well.
good. Awesome. No, that's even better. Okay, so what is the answer?
D, all of the above.
All of the above, yeah. Hey, Erica, does your dentist have any of these innovations?
Yes.
Good. Which one?
I think more digital.
Digital x-rays and digital imaging?
Yes.
Awesome. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, too. Hey, stay on the phone. We need to get the information where the flowers can be delivered to you from DeSantis Florist, okay?
Okay,
And I really appreciate you listening. And those of you that didn't get chosen this week, please call next Sunday, okay? All right. So now, before we move on to lasers, I realized that I wanted to give a little more information about the dental 3D printer. So 3D printing is a rapidly growing technology in numerous fields and a rapidly growing arena in dental laboratories. Dental 3D printers feature lights or lasers that polymerize a liquid or fuse a powder with the computer-guided precision required to produce small objects with intricate details. They are capable of producing models, parts, and even complete restorations out of a range of materials. Adding a 3D printer to a busy lab or practice can increase efficiency, and there are a wide range of printers fit for different scales of production, lab sizes, and specific tasks. When selecting the best 3D printer for a lab, the lab needs to evaluate the material it prints, the software it is compatible with, and the training and support provided by the manufacturer. So, a lot of labs are actually, in a way, ahead of dental offices in adopting this, but part of that is they need it. I mean, they have hundreds, maybe thousands of dentists as clients, and they're a much bigger operation. And so, for example, the CAD/CAM milling machine that I have was about $70,000, and the one that they would sell the lab is about $250,000 to $300,000, partly because it needs to do larger things, it needs to do multiple things at the same time. So anyway, not just dental offices are innovating, but dental laboratories are innovating, and it's pretty neat. If you've never had a chance to visit a dental lab, you should. It's very interesting. Think of it as like Mr. Rogers goes to the dental lab. Okay, so the next thing, and Erica mentioned it, is intraoral cameras. Now, intraoral cameras, I've been using the intraoral cameras since probably the mid-90s when they first came out, and they were interesting. It was on a cart. It had the little camera stylus, and it took a picture, but the picture would be printed off on like a piece of that, almost like that Polaroid film, It would spit out of the little slot in about 2 or 3 minutes. And now it's gotten really good that within just seconds we have the image, maybe even less than a second. So intraoral cameras, here's a list of 5 reasons that a dentist might be able to use an intraoral camera. I would say that it's more useful these days than my dental drill. And so, for example, they can be used for patient education. Tell you what, there's nothing like seeing a picture of your cracked tooth for a person to say, oh my goodness, that thing looks like it's going to break any minute, let's fix it. And it used to be that I'd say, oh, hey, John, you have a cracked tooth here, I'm really concerned about it. And John's looking at me like, yeah, I don't feel anything, it's not hurting, let's just leave it alone. And sure enough, somewhere down the line, sometimes as early as a couple weeks, it would break. But it used to be until the person had I had it break or a broken area before they would say yes. And now people are seeing the issues that I see, and they're saying, let's go for it. And I feel like that's better care, because we're protecting teeth rather than waiting for them to break. Because, by the way, sometimes they don't just break a corner, sometimes they break down the middle, and you have to have the tooth extracted. So it allows me to have greater visibility because it zooms in, and it's almost as good as having a microscope at times. And if I'm questioning something that I'm seeing, I do this a lot. I can zoom in and I can see what maybe I thought was a crack in the filling isn't. Or I can see what I thought was a good filling is a crack, So the fact that it zooms in is really, really important. And also, it's a snapshot in time. So I typically photograph every tooth, especially teeth that already have restorations, when a person comes in for their first visit, because 3 or 4 years down the line, I can go, was that crack there before? And I can go back and look at an old picture. Or if I knew there was a little crack and the person hasn't gone forward with any treatment, I can go ahead and look at my new photo and compare it to the old photo, and I can say, John, this tooth is starting to crack more. You might want to do something. All right? Now, and so case documentation. So if I am, this is kind of like, okay, here, this has happened. It doesn't happen often, but every once in a while, somebody will call up the office after they've had their cleaning appointment, and they'll call and they'll say, I think your hygienist chipped my tooth, or your hygienist pulled my filling out. And I'm like, really? What tooth are we talking about? And they'll say my upper right front tooth or something, and I'll go back and I'll look at the photographs and I'll see that tooth was chipped back in 2014, and that's how it was when they came. And people forget. So I'm able to say, no, John, you know, that was there before I wrote it down. You just didn't have me fix it. But I can fix it now if you want. They also come in handy for insurance claims. This has been a big boon because, you know what, insurance companies used to hide behind the fact that if it didn't show on the x-ray, they didn't have to pay for it because x-rays don't show cracks. And they knew that. But so now, you know, I honestly take more pictures than I take x-rays. And so whenever I'm going to do a crown, and sometimes I stop and I take them while I'm doing the procedure, while I'm working on the patient. Because I can take out the old filling, and sure enough, there's the crack's worse than I thought, or it's a spider crack or whatever. And so, or I can show the depth of the decay, which may have been hidden by the silver filling or something. So anyway, we're using that in that way. And then professional communication. If I want to talk to maybe an oncologist, I have a lesion that I think might potentially be a cancerous lesion. Well, I can take a photograph of it and I can send it to that specialist and talk about it before the patient even gets there. So intraoral cameras, digital imaging are really, really cool and have really helped us be able to do a much better job than we used to. Looks like we're up against a break, so I think we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we have 3 more categories to cover. I'm going to have to speak fast when we come back. You're listening to The Reasons We Smile, episode number 536, and I'll be right back.
You can't take me as I am, not just a little bit. I don't know who to be. I'm a paper cup, baby, on the sea. I know you see it too, 'cause you're too much for me.
This is Clark Kellogg. Stay tuned for more of Dr. Kvitko.
Estás escuchando con Dr. Kvitko aquí en su estación favorita.
Hi, I'm Dominique Reichert. Like what you hear? Why not use the show to promote your product or service by becoming a sponsor? Call 614-262-9588 to learn how. That's 614-262-9588. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of The Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. I've been honored to help several famous people get a perfect smile, like Keith Carlos and Dominique Reigard from America's Next Top Model, and Ted the Golden Voice Williams from right here in Columbus. Isn't it time you had a celebrity smile? It costs less than you might think, and most of the time, it can be done in one visit. A new smile can make a world of difference.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
I'm Grandpa, and I go to Dr. Kvitko, and I still have all my teeth. Real ones. Where's my glasses?
All right, we're back. If you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is The Reasons We Smile. It's episode 536. We're talking about the latest technology innovations in dentistry and what they mean for today and the future. And we've covered 3 of them: 3D printing, intraoral cameras and imaging, and the first one was digital impressions. And what we have left to cover are lasers, implants and how they keep improving, and anesthetic buffering. So in case I don't get to all of the detail, at least you'll know what those are. Lasers continually redefining themselves. It's really cool. I have 2 different lasers. I have the BioLase WaterLase, which is soft tissue primarily, although it does have the ability to do hard tissue. The Soleo laser does hard and soft tissue as well, but its forte seems to be hard tissue. And with the Soleo, I don't need to numb a person. I can shine the light on your tooth for 30 seconds on one setting, and that numbs the tooth, and then I change the setting, and I can literally cut out the cavity and get the tooth ready for a filling with the Soleo. With the BioLase, I primarily use it for periodontal surgery, and it's kind of like a misnomer when I say that word now because I don't actually have to cut. I'm not slicing with the laser like I used to slice with a scalpel blade, but with this, because it's laser energy, I just deliver it to the pockets around those teeth, and it causes the gums to shrink wrap around the teeth. It's really cool, and they keep getting better. And what I love about the Soleo is when they come out with new software, I don't have to buy new hardware all the time. I don't have to buy a whole new rolling cart. They keep changing it and improving it just by giving me a new software program and a software update. So that's really special. Okay, implants keep improving. Implants, one of the coolest things I've just seen lately is where there's this new thing called an OmniGrip driver, and I have to get this, by the way. So when we do an implant on a front tooth, I don't know if you noticed, but front teeth kind of flare out a little bit. And so typically that would mean that the screw hole would come right out the face of your tooth, and nobody wants to have that or hole there that I would fill in with filling, right? So with front teeth, we've been having to do cementable crowns, where we put the implant abutment in first, screw that in, and then we cover it over with the crown. But we prefer implant-supported crowns, screw-retained crowns, because we can take them off. Take them out, put them back in, look at them if we want to, put them back in. With the cementable one, you can't do that. Well, they've come out with this little OmniGrip driver that allows me to make a front tooth that's screw-retained, but the screwdriver goes up in the back, and it's an offset screwdriver somehow, and it's almost like a gear that you might find in a differential of a car, and I can screw the screw in, and there doesn't have to be a hole out the face. So that's really neat, and they just keep getting better and better. This one is very important. I'm talking fast because I don't want to miss it. And so if I have time to go back and expand on those other two, I will. But anesthetic buffering, now the first anesthetic buffering was presented at the Chicago Midwinter Meeting several years ago. The idea is that a buffered anesthetic will take hold faster due to its neutral pH. The buffering agent is sodium bicarbonate, a chemical that is apparently it's hard to keep stable long enough to use in a dental operatory. So now they're defining and redefining it, and this company called Anutra Medical introduced the newest addition to the market, and it's called Anutra Local Anesthetic Delivery System. So rather than switching out the bicarbonate every day, a dentist doesn't have to worry because this has a shelf life of 4 days, and the recommended dose of lidocaine, we can get up to 25 injections at a time without having to reload. And I don't know if you know, but the little cartridges that we typically use only have 1.8 cc's in them, and it probably takes 2 or 3 cartridges to get a person numb if we're doing a whole lower arch. So now we have in this delivery system buffered anesthetic and plenty of anesthetic that we don't have to keep reloading. It just makes everything go smoother and faster, and you stay numb longer. Isn't that cool? So, even some of the mundane things like local anesthetic are now innovating and really cool. So it looks like I did just run out of time. I guess I spoke fast enough, but now I need to almost shut up, right? I'm getting the yes message from my producer. Okay, so let me just say that if you would please go to my office Facebook page and like us, that would be great. A reminder that I'm looking for a dentist. If you have at least 3 years of experience, please call me, 614-262-9588. The same if you are an EFTA. I'm looking for an EFTA or 2. You can email me at bkavitko@aol.com. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Visit my office Facebook page. Remember that all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
This is Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kavitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kavitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kavitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's 614-262-9588. 262-9588 or send an email to speaking@thereasonswesmile.com.